Harnessing the power of technology is important to ensure that we grow to our potentiality. We have been in a digital environment for last many years, but we have discovered its real power during the pandemic period, because we could conduct many of our businesses with the help of technology. But that doesn't put an end to the journey, but is a new beginning as far as the journey of digital transformation is concerned. Keeping the requirements of efficient payment system, Reserve Bank of India now intends to open up for setting up new umbrella entities. Now, what is new umbrella entities? That is very popularly known as NUE, that is new umbrella entity. Now, new umbrella entity which has the digital infrastructure to facilitate retail payments. Retail payments are very important to harness the power of technology. Currently, National Payment Corporation of India, that is NPCI, which was set up in 2008, is driving the entire payment and settlement system in India in line with the Payments and Settlement System Act of 2007, and that is driving the entire payment mechanism, whether it is issue of debit cards, RuPay cards, whether it is UPI apps that we are using, the digital mode that we are using to transfer our retail payments. And it is in such a big country like India, it is quite fascinating to see a payment of rupees 20 or 30 going through a digital mode from a vendor to a vendor. So it is and the POS terminals are so active in every restaurant or every retail outlets. The only missing point is the need for more digital literacy, more financial literacy, and more literacy as far as protecting the consumer interest in the payment space is concerned. Taking these as the basis, RBI wanted to have more new umbrella entities which can create platform for retail payments on a bigger scale, and eventually when India grows further as far as the traffic of digital payments are concerned, we will be in a better position to cope up, and this is a very proactive policy to have a new umbrella entity. The last date for the application for NUE is 31st of March 2021. Now, what is it that one should have to be a new umbrella entity to be able to apply to the Reserve Bank of India for a license and build up its payment infrastructure? It should have a 3-year experience in handling the payment space and should have the competence to garner about rupees 500 crores as the initial capital, with a 10% of it, that is rupees 50 crores of down payment at the time of making an application for setting up the new umbrella entity. And of course, as far as the fit and proper criteria is concerned, they must have a proven capability of not only the technical competence and experience in the line of business or in the line of digital payment system, but their integrity standards, honesty should be impeccable and should be proven, and they should not have been debarred from doing any kind of business. So NUE can be set up by any financial entity, and we have seen many of the aspiring very reputed entities coming up to set up NUE, including some of the public sector banks which are larger in size, which wants to set up an NUE as a for-profit company under the Companies Act. It can also be opened as under Section 8 of the Companies Act, not necessarily as a profit company. So, whatever may be the mode of option that one can adopt, but the most important point is their capability to invest money. As far as competence is concerned, they should possess the required skill sets and the experience, and an NUE can set up ATMs which will be white label ATMs. Now, what is white label ATM? White label ATMs are universal ATMs which are not belonging to any entity, but is having interoperability with any of the financial entities, so that anyone can utilize the services of NUE as far as the ATMs are concerned. They can also diversify, expand a retail payment network. They can provide digital wallets. They can provide any intermediary services as far as the in the payment space is concerned, and they can be members in the clearing house, and they can they can undertake all the activities which an payment intermediary is concerned. And the structure will be structure of NUE will be in terms of the government guidelines, and the board members of these NUE will be approved by the Reserve Bank of India, so that the fit and proper criteria of the directors on its board are fully taken into consideration and gone into by the central bank. So, there has to be a robust governance as far as the entity is concerned, and it can expand the scope of its activities as it goes forward, and it should also have a very clear business mandate, a business plan as to how it is going to diversify its payment network and how it is going to expand the scope of its functioning, because it will be entering as a new entity, and to compete with an established entity like NPCI, it will take quite some time for them to be able to come into the reckoning of the financial intermediaries, because many of the financial intermediaries will be using their payment gateways for the purpose of settling their financial transactions. So, the new umbrella entities, whenever it comes into operations, will be of great public convenience, because first and foremost there is another competitor. From the risk point of view, when a digital framework is expanding and people are becoming more and more dependent upon the efficiency of the digital system, depending only on one entity, because we have seen in the case of National Stock Exchange, when it was interrupted for about 4 to 5 hours, and when it could not operate its disaster recovery system, how it could disrupt the whole process of settlement of transactions of the securities market. The same will be the state of affair if we depend only on NPCI as we increase our intensity of digital penetration in the society, and more people are getting connected to the digital framework of the country. So, as the market expands, as the number of consumers get connected with the system, as the number of transactions increase, as the volumes increase, the challenges for NPCI to cope with these kind of volumes will be very complex, very daunting, and very challenging. So this is the right time when some of the new entities, they come and be a part of the financial system, and they expand their digital infrastructure in addition to NPCI. And as we go forward, we will have more entities, and the only thing that needs to be supplemented along with this is how to impart digital literacy and protect the consumers against the cyber crimes that can increase with the increase in the traffic, with the increase in the digital transactions, with the increase in the digital volumes. So the new umbrella entities, whenever they occupy the space, is a good sign of digital penetration, and we will be in a better position to expand our digital network. So let's wait for more market players to enter the payment and settlement system, and we can always have competing pricing when new entities come. We have so many digital wallet providers which provide attractive incentives to the users, and the same thing can happen with NUE whenever it is set up in India, and I think it will be interoperability with the NPCI, so that both can work together, and they can work in collaboration, they can work in coordination, and they can provide alternatives to the users, and a diversified basket of digital products that will manifold increase the potentiality of the digital economy as we move towards the 5 trillion economy in the years to come. So I would like to thank you all for this, and request you to post your comments and subscribe and share and continue to be in touch, so that we learn more as new events unfold in the economy. Thank you very much.